Today I'm painting in watercolour in Procreate. Hi everyone, Steve Elliott here. I'm playing around with my watercolour brushes, being as I've just released them. I thought I'd do a painting using them. One or two people have had a few problems actually getting the things downloaded and installed. So I think I'm going to make a quick video about that as well, just to show you how I did it, because I've not had any problems at all, but I know quite a few of you have. Anyway, this was it's so hot in the UK. It's melting, and trust me, us English, we don't like the hot weather. We we'll stay out all day in it and get sunstroke and get headaches and stuff, but and we moan about the rain like crazy, but 2 weeks in we're going, oh, I like it hot but not this hot, as Peter Kay would say. Anyway, I don't even like it hot. I don't like it hot at all, and neither do these cows apparently, because they stood under this tree in the shade. This photo was taken quite a few weeks ago because the grass is actually green. I've never seen the grass so dry looking in the UK. It's like we're in Spain, and the trees are now wilting. I've never ever seen big oak trees with the branches all wilting and look like they need a good watering. But it's pretty much like that everywhere, apart from alongside the canal, of course, where there's lots of water, which is where I was at yesterday. Anyway, back to this painting. I thought I'd begin. Well, I began by sketching in the cows. I've not kept it the same as the photo. The photo's quite a bit wider, and I didn't think all of the cows added to the painting, so I've removed one of the sort of ones that are in profile. I thought it was sort of just too much, so I took that out. I'd shuffled things around a little bit, and then I imported my watercolour paper, which is available as the free download, and then I started in, I locked that layer with the paper. I put that on the top of the layer stack. I set the blend mode to multiply. I knocked the opacity of my pencil drawing down a little bit. That's at the bottom of the stack. Locked that so I couldn't paint on it. And then I began with an initial wash of fairly bright but muted colours, sort of pure colours, but some sort of added white into some of them for my initial glazes or wash. And I used the watercolour wet in wet brush for this, the first one of the brushes from the collection. And here I'm actually using the glazing brush, so I've started on the second layer now, created another layer, and I basically just kept creating layers for each time I wanted to strengthen up the colour. I didn't merge them down, which I normally do. I just kept adding the layers and creating them. This painting didn't take too long. I think it was about 2 hours, perhaps from start to finish, including the sketch, maybe a bit long. Maybe I think the sketch took me about 15, 20 minutes, something, not too long. I didn't spend a lot of time on it. And then it was just a matter of getting these washes in. I wanted to keep it quite airy and not too dark. If you looked at my painting of the Harley Davidsons outside the bar, that was a lot darker and muted greys and dark colours. This one I wanted to be much more vibrant and capture that sun, but I still wanted some quite strong shading in there. So I began by putting down these really light washes, and then, as you can see here, I started to strengthen it. What I did, I tried one or two different things. I thought, this isn't going to work. I'm going to go in with the big brush again, and I'm going to just cover the old tree and then erase away and just chop away where I didn't want the colour. And that, I felt, left a really nice watercolour effect, like I'd put a pool of water and then just flooded some colour in it. And then I sculpt out the cows and the shape of the tree. And then I did that again because I was really chuffed with it. I thought, this is working really nice. And, you know, I wish I'd have done that on the cows as well. I didn't. I started painting them in with the glazing brush in a bit. And I think maybe I would have perhaps been better doing it the same way as I did this tree. And you can see I'm sort of erasing away. So I'm painting it on and then sculpting the shape out away. And that leaves a really nice sort of soft watercolour wash on the painting. And I'm using sort of blues here. You can see obviously they're sort of blues for the shadows at this point. I'm still not sort of going into the greys as yet. And then I start lifting out a few of the grasses. I do that with the lifting out brushes using the eraser. So I've not used any white at all at this point. Here we go in with the cows now. So now I'm using the glazing brush. And you can see that when you use the glazing brush, you can build up the colour by overlaying it, by putting a stroke on top of another stroke. And then I was using the blending brush to smudge the paint out as though you've touched the edge of the paint with water, then smeared it out with your brush. And I'm just sort of softening the colours there, flicking a few more blades of grass in. I did this painting, or I did this as a sketch in paper by 53, first of all, to see if I thought it would work as a painting. And I changed the cows around in that too. I didn't refer back to that sketch actually for this painting. So again, I changed the cows in that, and I don't know if I've done it the same here or if it's actually different or not. I'm not too sure. But if you want to check that video out, I'll put a link for that as well. I've got to remember to put all these links in. I bet I forget. If I do forget, stick a comment down for me and remind me. It'd be sometimes that can be quite useful because I've got a shocking memory. So I really enjoy drawing. I won't call it wildlife because, you know, these things aren't wild, are they? But the domesticated farm animals, I suppose, cows and sheep and stuff like that. I do enjoy doing that. It makes a change from the town scenes or just a landscape that are bare with nothing in them. Deer are quite nice to paint as well. There's Bradgate Park near where I live, which is full of deer and stags and things. Quite nice to go to. I went on the canal. I went on a narrowboat yesterday. Got loads of pictures for that. So I will be having canal paintings coming up soon. I know I've done a few narrowboats before and stuff alongside the canal, but these are all while I was actually on the canal, on the boat, taking photos of fishermen on the banks and animals and birds and stuff. So I'm looking forward to getting stuck into them because they are going to give me plenty to go at. So I'm just kind of working away at this, sort of putting in these cows, and these I'm using. I start off with this sort of grey, neutral grey colour, but I do add little bits of ints of colour to them as I go on. So they kind of look a bit odd at the minute because the rest of the painting has got this sort of vibrant thing going off with all these bright colours. And then these dark cows just sort of stuck on the top. So, but you'll see as the painting progresses, there I'm putting a little bit of green in the cows there. I start to add shade into the rest of the painting, into the background distant trees. And I was just putting them in, softening them off. I did these leaves the same way as I did the tree, where I just blotted on a lot of colour. Then I used the eraser to lift out sort of light where it's sort of shining through the trees. The only thing I think I got wrong was the green on the tree. I should have sort of kept it more like the yellow in the grass. I think would have been a better option. I think looking at that now, that is a mistake. But I know we make mistakes, don't we? So anyway, I'm sort of strengthening up the foreground, and again, all on different layers. And then I start to use that lifting out brush to flick in grasses. And you notice where I've lifted out grasses in the dark areas, in the light areas, I've continued those blades of grass. That's quite a nice trick. So that's it. That's my latest watercolour painting. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, a big thumbs up as always is much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I have lots of videos like this and I would love to be sharing them with you. So hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye.